Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
A U.S. Senate candidate tours southeast Missouri. Also, the city of Farmington is asking residents for their feedback. Plus, work on a new Highway 67 interchange in Poplar Bluff could start next month. All of these stories, and will the stormy skies clear out by the weekend?
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins. Here's the top stories that we're working on this hour for you. U.S. Senate candidate Sarah Steelman wants to rein in the federal government. The former Missouri State Treasurer was in Potosi Thursday touring Washington County Memorial Hospital. Steelman says government overreach has had negative consequences.
Well, what I hear on the campaign trail, and what I know all of us are thinking about most of the time, is the fiscal mess that Washington is in today. You know, the fact that we have a national debt of $16 trillion, which is about the size of our entire economy, and continuing deficits that are getting bigger and bigger and spending money we don't have. So I know people are very concerned about that situation. But I also hear directly about the rising price of gas, the regulatory burden that small businesses are facing, the fact that the federal government keeps getting more and more involved in our lives, like Obamacare. Those are the main issues that I hear about over and over again out on the campaign trail.
Steelman is among 8 candidates vying to face Democrat Claire McCaskill in November.
You know, people look at different candidates and they try to decide why they should vote for you. And for me, it's because I'm a fighter. I have a record here in Missouri of standing up for the people of Missouri, despite what the political consequences may be for myself, that I put their interests first. And that's the way it should be. And that's what I want to do in Congress. And I really think that unless we have people in Washington who are willing to change the way that Washington does business, get rid of a lot of the perks, term limits, get rid of pensions, things like that, we're going to keep getting the same outcome no matter who we send. So, I'm asking the voters to send me because I want to work for them and serve them.
Steelman recently received the endorsement of 47 conservative state House representatives. Among her supporters is House Speaker Stephen Tilley.
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures are cooler this hour than they were 24 hours ago. Festus right now at 58, as well as in St. Genevieve and Fredericktown. Cape Girardeau 59, 64 down in Poplar Bluff, and 61 right now in Ellington. What's in store for your evening this evening? Cloudy skies, about 56 by 7 p.m., 9 p.m. 51 and cloudy skies, clearing out, and 46 by midnight. I'll give you more details on your sunny weekend forecast coming up later in weather.
Farmington wants to hear from residents about city services and how tax dollars are spent. Administrator Greg Beaver says the city has just sent out its biannual survey to a random sample of residents.
There's a number of questions about virtually every city service that we offer. The objective for us, and we do use this information, is to, the best we can, help align the priorities of the public with our spending priorities.
Now, if you don't receive a survey form, but you would like to participate, just download from the city's website, farmington-mo.gov. Beavers is requesting that all survey forms be returned by May the 4th. Construction on the first phase of the Oak Grove Road interchange in Poplar Bluff could start sometime next month. The Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission awarded the $5.5 million contract during its Tuesday meeting. The first phase of the project will include constructing the interchange ramps. Construction on an overpass bridge adjacent to the existing bridge is in the second phase. That contract will be awarded sometime next March. Now, the interchange is part of an economic development agreement between MoDOT and Poplar Bluff. In addition to the interchange, MoDOT's portion of the project will include improvements at the intersection of Oak Grove Road and Westwood Boulevard. The Missouri State Highway Patrol will run a sobriety checkpoint in Butler County sometime in April. Commanding Officer Captain George Ryden says troopers will also conduct a hazardous moving operation throughout Troop E's region. This area includes Bollinger, Butler, Iron, Madison, Stoddard, and Wayne counties, while a sobriety checkpoint tests every driver on a specific highway to be sure they are sober. A hazardous moving operation targets vehicles that are being operated in an unsafe manner.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins, Dawn Arnold, Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp, and Jeremy Martin with sports. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
The Space Museum in Bonne Terre is offering an out-of-this-world twist on the traditional Easter egg hunt this Sunday. Founder Earl Mullins says the hunt will give folks a chance to get acquainted with the museum.
They can come in, they'll get a list of things that they look for in the museum, and they'll check those things off. They present them then to the docent or the person on duty that day, and as a result of a reward for their efforts, they'll get a special Easter egg and a rubber ducky to take home, and just a satisfaction for coming in and looking around the museum and enjoying the artifacts.
Mullins says the artifact hunt will run from noon until 4 on Sunday. The event is free and is open to the public. Farmington's First Baptist Church is preparing for their annual You Are the Light family mission project. Minister of Education Chuck Henson says they are lining up projects for this year's Servant Week, which will be June 25th through the 29th. Henson says they typically take care of home maintenance projects.
We actually will visit with these people. We have contacts. We have some forms that we have that people fill out. And it could be anything such as washing windows, minor repairs, a lot of garden cleanup around the garden, around the yard. We do a lot of power washing of homes.
Henson says their mission is to show the community they care by providing free materials and labor for folks who need help. He says it's an opportunity to bless their community.
It's a blessing not only to the people that we helped, but it's something that brings First Baptist Church together for a common cause. And we know that God wants us to go, and He wants us to help people. Help people not just around the world. For instance, we go to Belarus. We're getting ready for a mission trip to Guatemala. Our youth are going down to Joplin this year for a mission trip, but also in the city of Farmington and the surrounding area.
If folks need a home maintenance project done, contact Chuck Henson at First Baptist Church, 756-4654. A Missouri Senate committee wants to spare cuts on public education. On Wednesday, the Senate Appropriations Committee followed the House's lead by holding funding for public universities, going against Governor Jay Nixon's recommendation for a 12% cut. Now, under the Senate committee's plan, community colleges would get a $5 million increase. The Senate committee also agreed with the House in adding $5 million to Missouri's $3 billion basic aid program to public school districts. Senate President Pro Tem Robert Mayer of Dexter says the Senate should also work on reforming how public education is funded.
I think there is an opportunity to get some reforms and get some revisions made in the formula. It's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of willingness on a lot of different senators to give and take. I'm not giving up hope that we can't get some of these things accomplished.
Mayor says legislators still have 7 weeks in this session to get some reforms passed. The Ozarks National Scenic Riverways celebrated the opening of their new visitor center exhibit, Ozark One Room Schools, by holding an old-fashioned spelling bee. 4th grade spelling champions from Van Buren and East Carter Elementary Schools gathered for the competition last week. Nicole Hart from Van Buren won first place, Brett Odell from East Carter came in second, and Connor Jackson from Van Buren took third. In keeping with the old-fashioned theme, all the spelling bee words were taken from the Eclectic Spelling Book published by McGuffey's in 1879.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. As rain finally clears out of southeast Missouri, we're going to see plenty of sunshine for the weekend, and temperatures are going to be about average for this time of year, maybe just a few degrees warmer than average, but they're going to be closer to average temperatures than they have been. Here in southeast Missouri, temperatures are in the 50s, like in 58 in St. Genevieve and Festus, 59 in Potosi, 61 in Ellington, and 62 right now in Piedmont. Here at the station, we have a current temperature of 58 degrees under a mostly cloudy sky, current dew point at 44, humidity at 60%, and a current northeast wind at 10 miles per hour. What's in store for you today on Friday? Friday, we finally get all that rain pushed out of southeast Missouri. It's going to be a beautiful day here in southeast Missouri and plenty of sunshine for the weekend. So for your forecast for this evening, plenty of clouds in southeast Missouri, temperatures in the 30s and low 40s. 35 in Festus, St. Genevieve 38, here in Farmington about 40 degrees, 39 in Ironton, and 40 in Piedmont. For your forecast for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, high around 61. Some areas even warmer, like in Potosi, 66, 67 in Ellington and Van Buren, as well as in Piedmont. So for your next several days here in southeast Missouri, like I said, around 61, 67 degrees in some areas. On Friday, plenty of sunshine, partly sunny and 69. On Saturday, Sunday, plenty of sunshine, high 72, back in the 60s on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. By Thursday, we are going to see more rain moving back in the forecast. Another look at your weekend forecast here in southeast Missouri. Partly sunny skies on Saturday with a high of 69, low of 51, 72 on Sunday with plenty of sunshine. Fred, back to you.
This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News with Jeremy Martin.
The sellout crowd in the Miami Marlins' new ballpark cheered the introduction of their starters and for Muhammad Ali, who delivered the first pitch. And then Kyle Loesch and the World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals went to work, and the place grew quiet. Loesch held Miami hitless until the 7th inning and pitched into the 8th to help the Cardinals win the first game in Marlins Park 4-1 on Wednesday night. The crowd of 36,600 included newly retired Cardinals manager Tony La Russa, who quietly rooted for his former team from the press box. For David Freese, spring training was something to forget. The third baseman, the World Series most valuable player for the Cardinals, hit just 188. However, today Freese is hitting 600 after he collected 3 of the Cardinals' 13 hits in a 4-1 opening night victory. Freese, slowed by ankle problems for the last several years, even beat out an infield hit. But what Freese does best is drive in runs with 2 outs. On Wednesday, he singled home 2 runs with 2 outs in the first to give Kyle Loesch a lead he would not lose. St. Louis Blues coach Ken Hitchcock was more upset with himself than his players after a blown victory Wednesday night. Detroit overcame a 2-goal deficit with 2 goals in the final 6 minutes of regulation and claimed a 3-2 shootout decision, sending the Blues to a 3rd straight loss for only the 2nd time this season. During the game, Hitchcock had used his top line centered by Blues captain David Backes to combat the opposition's best offensive players, and it worked well. But on Detroit's second goal, tying the score at 2 apiece with 3:50 left in regulation, the Blues had their 3rd line on the ice against the Red Wings' 1st line. The Blues did pick up a point and now trail the New York Rangers and Vancouver Canucks for the lead in the NHL and the Western Conference. The club has 2 more games remaining in the regular season, resuming Friday against Phoenix at the Scott Trade Center. And while the specific dates and times have yet to be determined, the Rams have their preseason schedule. St. Louis will open preseason play in the weekend of August 9th at Indianapolis against the Colts and presumably number 1 overall draft pick quarterback Andrew Luck. The following week will be the battle for the Governor's Cup when Kansas City visits the Edward Jones Dome. The weekend of August 23rd, the Rams travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And in the final week of preseason, Baltimore invades the Edward Jones Dome. The Rams' regular season schedule will come out later this month. And that's a look at sports. We'll be back with today's Your Life segment right after this on 18 Eyewitness News.
I'm Stacy Johnson. You want to earn more interest than you're making at the bank and help someone else out. This guy knows how to do it. It's called micro lending, and he's going to tell you what he knows. Coming up on Money Talks News.
Do you see news happening in your neighborhood? Email us at news@kdkz.tv.
Dustin Kopp, although it's been kind of quiet around here this afternoon, some tornadic activity down in the Boot Heel.
Yeah, we saw some tornadoes touch down in New Madrid County. Pretty much a lot of damage through that area that we saw. We haven't had any reports as far as on how much damage, but just by seeing the pictures of it, looks like there's pretty much a lot of damage down there. Here in our neck of the woods, we haven't seen much in the way of really bad thunderstorms. We've just seen a little drizzle here and there, maybe a few showers, but other than that, we're clearing out. Plenty of sunshine for Friday and the weekend. Really can't complain for the weekend.
Should be a real nice Easter weekend.
I think so. It doesn't look like any rain in sight until the end of next week.
All right, very good then. Maybe we can dry out just a little bit, but we did need the moisture, no doubt.
That's very true.
All right, very good. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back later on this evening and then tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for our early morning edition of Eyewitness News. Have a blessed evening. God bless everybody.
Have a good night, everybody. Newswatch is next.